Yo, 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 welcome to the Couch Coaches. We're mixing it up today. John's given me the reins to take control. So here we go. We're here to celebrate another Wilds win. I'm one of your hosts, Richard, the bandwagon conductor Leffy, and joined as always by my co-host, John Lazaron. John, how are you, bro? How you feeling after that ugly win on Friday night?
Uh, yeah, mixed feelings, bro. Mixed feelings because happy about the win, as most Wilds fans would be, but it wasn't pretty. Definitely wasn't pretty. And I remember just Friday night there had a nice Jim Beam and cola in my hand and thinking this is going to be a good game. And mate, I was just like, man, this is quite flat. It was quite flat. But yeah, other than that, mate, I'm doing good. Good. How about yourself?
Yeah, mate. Very good. A wise man once said 2 points is 2 points, so
Yep.
we'll take it. The Warriors are in the eight now, and I'm throwing it out to the world that we can just stop the count now, and we'll just play some finals footy now. So the Warriors are where they need to be. But yeah, I agree. It was ugly. It wasn't the greatest win, but you got to take those ones because it's a tough comp. They're a pretty good Roosters team. Obviously not a full strength Roosters team, but I think there's a lot of talent around that park, as we talked about last week, and the fact that we were able to, muster up the 2 points in a game where points were hard to come by, was great. So I was,
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
take the 2 points there.
it's not that like I'm happy, not like obviously I'm happy about the win and taking the 2 points, like you're saying. It's just for me, it's just a bit odd where we got so many people going on about how amazing we are, and after that win, oh, this is our year and stuff like that. It's like, guys, calm down. Yes, I'm happy about the win. We got the 2 points, but it was nothing spectacular. It was for the first 25 minutes to half an hour. It was just both sides were just playing just playing their sets, playing their sets, kicking. They did their part. Same thing. It was just back to back stuff, and I was just sitting there going, "This is." I actually remember saying to myself, "This is actually quite boring." It was nothing spectacular. It was all defense. There was no attack. It was just just full on, just taking out the middle and just seeing what happens from it. But yeah, I didn't think there was anything great about it, to be honest. And I might get roasted for saying that, but I'm just being honest. I just thought it was quite flat.
No, I mean, I don't think you roasted at all. I think you talk about sort of, Warriors fans, and this is our year. That's just Warriors fans, but Warriors fans. I think every true Warriors
Yeah,
fan knows that wasn't our greatest performance this season, by any stretch, but they managed to put it on in front of was it sold out? Mount Smart looks pretty packed. But the atmosphere looked a bit flatter than the week before, I thought. But I'll take that as far as I can go. Plenty of talking points to come from the game. There's plenty of sort of players that stood out. One that he left a bit early. It was Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
yeah,
He done his hammy, and it turned out he set after the game. Major Webster came out and sort of talked about how he'd already actually done his hammy, and he did it at a very crucial time. Like Dom Young close to the line. He's one of the bigger wingers in the game, but he managed to stop him and before he got over the line. And if the Roosters had scored that try, they might have actually got over. So plenty of questions there. Do you have a solution as to sort of? I know we'll probably talk more about this game, but just talk about Roger and his position on the wing there. Like, have you got any solutions for next week? We don't have a team yet.
yeah. It's a hard one because I mean, well, first of all, those with RTS, those in his heroics, that was amazing. Like you said, he had actually pulled the hammy on the play beforehand, but he was all still managed to get up into the back into the line and stop Dom Young at pace from getting there, which create just was able to deter him just enough for a chance to just to finish it off and get him over the line. And it was I just thought to myself, oh, far out. I thought he actually at the time I thought he'd done his hamstring there. I didn't realize he'd done it before, so that was amazing from him. But unfortunately, it's not a major injury, but it just means he'll be out. For I don't know how long. And wing is actually a position that we're not very strong in terms of depth. We've got Dallin out as well, so we've had to put Tuapiki there, and he's doing a good job to a picky. But then now we've got to fill that gap, fill that spot that RTS is leaving out now. And for me, I guess the most obvious option is to bring Rocco Berry in. But do you bring Rocco Berry into centre and put someone into the wing, like Pompey? I think that would be the most. That would be the best solution, because there are a lot of people. I don't know if people would want. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say people, but I don't know if the coaches have still got 100% faith in Kossi yet, even though he is a winger. I don't think in the opportunities that he's been given, he hasn't returned that faith, so to say, for the coach. So I don't know if they'll go with that. I mean, they might do, but for me, if I was coaching, if I was Andrew Webster for the day, I'll be putting Pompey on the wing and putting Rocco Berry in, because Rocco Berry's been doing really well in New South Wales Cup, and I think he's ready to come back. He's ready to come back. What about your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that was my first choice. And then I had sort of made notes. Obviously, Kossi can come in. They've obviously got Morgan Harper, so they bought him as a bit of depth. I think he's been playing a bit of New South Wales Cup. So I mean, I think he's played 60, 70 odd sort of first grade games. So he's obviously been there and done that. And some pretty good sort of Manly teams and Parramatta teams. So he'd be the other option. But yeah, I mean, I think if you want to get your best squad on the field, that'd be. Because Kossi, I know Kossi. Pompey's played a bit on the wing. Like I feel like when he first came into the squad, he was sort of chopping and changing a bit. Playing wing here, playing centre here. He hasn't played too much centre recently, but I feel like that seems like the most smart option for me. But
yeah,
we will see.
I think so.
Tomorrow, yeah. I mean, we're recording on Monday night. We'll hopefully get this up tomorrow sort of afternoon. So when you listen to this, you might already know. You might have the answers to these questions. But yeah, coming back to the Roosters game, it was that you talked about sort of it being sort of stop-start and quite a hard game to watch. I thought the first half in particular, we were quite lucky, because there was the Roosters they were looking like the better team. They were making some easy meters. They had a few sort of breaks, particularly down that left edge. So there's still some probably there'll be some questions asked of our right edge sort of defence. But I just thought between Daniel Tupou and I still can't figure out how to pronounce his name, Mark Nawaqataze. They were tearing it up down their left edge. So we got extremely lucky there. That they didn't they probably could have easily scored another, at least one, maybe two tries in that first half. So, I don't really know what else to sort of say about that game. Like I thought it was it was
very sluggish, wasn't it?
Yeah, just sluggish game, and like there was still plenty of performances to sort of praise, and I thought someone who we've talked about in the last few weeks, not sure about his sort of spot on the in the team, Jackson Ford. I thought that was the best game we've seen from him in a couple of years almost.
He was amazing.
Played 62. I was just gonna ask you sort of what you thought. I know you've been sort of like questioning his spot on the team. And I think you've been like no disrespect to him, but you're not sure about him on the interchange. But I thought, he was brilliant. What did you think?
And as I've mentioned to you many times before, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong, especially when it comes to our beloved Warriors team. But no, he had an amazing game. I thought he was one of the best forwards by far. And he took the ball up, and he was always making post-contact meters, and he was always getting go-forward meters and stuff. So I thought, and that always lays a platform for the likes of Wade Egan to do his thing. When our forwards are going forward, Wade Egan is at his best. You set it up for him, then he just keeps the momentum going forward, and lays that platform for all of the halves to do their thing. And I just thought Jackson Ford did an amazing job. I admit that. So I think he's earned, if he's going to be selected, which he probably will this week, he will. He's earned his spot in the side. But to be honest with you, bro, going back to what we're saying about the game as a whole, yes, it was sluggish, and I thought it was quite boring. And again, I'm not trying. I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's just everyone's going on about how amazing we are. I just think we're way still far behind anywhere near premiership contenders at the moment. And and one thing I don't understand about our strategy at the moment. I'd love to be a fly on the wall within the Warriors camp when they're talking about their last tackle play options for kicking, because Dick, our last tackle play kicking is atrocious. It is bad from both Metcalf and Chanel Harris-Tavita. It's atrocious. I'm not saying they're bad kickers. I'm saying the game plan is bad. It's really bad. Like they're doing a lot of up and unders, and the kick chase is bad. But then when all of a sudden we're actually close and the players actually get close to the player catching the ball, they let him catch it and they just tackle him. So I don't know what the strategy is. I mean, it looks like the strategy is that they tackle them and try and keep them positioned in their own 30 to try and get taken film. But for me, that doesn't make sense. You're supposed to attack as well. You look at all the other games within NRL, all the good teams, when they're putting up and unders they're attacking the ball as well. But we put no pressure on the defense. It makes no sense to me. They did it last season as well, with Sean Johnson doing the same thing, putting those up and unders up. We weren't contesting. It makes no bloody sense. So what's the point of it? I don't understand. So I'd love to know what the whole thinking behind their strategy is, because it makes no sense to me. I mean, if you're listening to this right now, you can have your thoughts and pieces on this. But yeah, sorry, man. You can see, as you can hear, I'm getting animated about it, because every time they put a high ball up, it's just like, what are you guys doing? What the heck are you guys doing? It makes no sense. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It was very frustrating, and it was that same feeling of last year. It's like we're waiting for the opposition to make a mistake, and it just doesn't happen. I do feel like, in 2023 when we had that good year, we were potentially sort of playing to that game plan, but it was just working a little bit better. Maybe we were chasing it a bit better. Maybe those mistakes were coming, but they just weren't coming at all. And we were getting to ourselves into relatively good spots, maybe, being about 30 metres out and then putting up those bombs for the corner. And they're going too deep, or, the chase isn't good enough. Yeah. So,
or not still,
not contesting. And if you're waiting for the mistake, you can at least contest. And, there's a lot of wingers out there that are pretty well known. I don't know if you saw the Knights, Titans game, but when we play against the Knights, we just need to bomb Greg Marzio, because, oh my goodness, that guy under a high ball way. Like, if I was a Knights fan, there'd be nothing I'd lose more sleep over than watching that, because he was all over the show. So we need to sort of start. Yeah, but I don't know whether it would happen like that if we were playing against them, because the chase just wouldn't be there. The pressure's not on. Yeah. So
it's a good point you make, bro. Because the thing is, if just say we're playing the Knights, and he's bad under the high ball, but what if we let him get away with it, because our strategy is to let him catch it and us defend? It makes no sense. I don't understand the thinking behind the last tackle plays where they're kicking the ball to the corner, high in the air. They're either not kicking, the kick chase is either too slow and allows them to grab a few meters up the field, or the kick chase gets there on time, but allows the defender to catch the ball, and then we just tackle them there. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense to me at all, and it's not working. If this is their plan, it's not working. It didn't work last year, and it's not working now. So yeah, I'm really frustrated with that. Those last tackle options. Yeah, it just blows my mind how they're just continuing on with this, because as a fan, I'm obviously not involved in the NRL or anything, but you don't have to be involved in the NRL to figure out that that's just a stupid play, if that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to forget about Vegas, and I'll say we're in game 2 for the season, and we've come through and got 2 wins, 2 from 2, and the tactics work so far. So I'm gonna have faith in the tactic, and believe that they will it'll in the next few weeks it'll all come to fruition. But yeah, I'm with you. I had some very frustrated sort of punch in the couch moments on Friday night. I was forgot to mention before, there's an absolute debacle of a setup to watch the game, because we were around at the in-laws, and then dinner was served at 8:05. I couldn't get Sky to work, and then I went to go watch the game, and my wife told me off because I hadn't invited my father-in-law down to watch it with me, and it was all go, I tell you what. So and then we left at half time, so we got home, had to put one of the kids to bed, paused the game, kept away from my phone. So yeah, it was a really disjointed, and it kind of summed the game up for me. It was such a disjointed game that my experience watching it was similarly, it's disjointed. But yeah, so I think I ended up sort of getting to the end of the game at about 11:15, and I was just like, oh, my phone hasn't gone off heaps, so like, I don't know why that's a bad thing or a good thing, but yeah, no, we held on for the win. So
Yeah, but if you think that's bad, mate, I did the unthinkable. I got home like just after 7 p.m. after work. I've had a long week of work, and I was so tired that I actually fell asleep during the game, and my wife had to wake me up. I've never done that before. I've never fallen asleep during a Warriors game, and it wasn't. And you could say, was it because it was boring, John? Because you're saying it was boring. It might have been because it was actually a bit of a slugfest,
yeah,
but I was tired. I was just tired.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a boring game. It was just frustrating, but it was I mean, it's good to see that they grinded out a tough one because I mean, we've seen plenty of those Warriors games in the past. So we've think about last year, the amount of games that we lost by sort of 2, 4, 6 points. For us to sort of be in a position where we were down 6-4 at half time, and it was like another 20 minutes until we scored. Yeah, obviously it was that Harris Tavita try was a bit of a fluke, but you'll take it. I mean, it's nice that we've got someone in the team who can, it just shows that someone who can spark that, and it just shows the old never give up, and it just shows that also that you're talking about chasing the ball. Chasing these bombs, it shows the advantage of actually chasing them and contesting them, and you might sort of sneak a try out of it. So, just on the sort of 15 options and the halves and all that, like, how are you feeling with the Metcalf and Harris Tavita situation? Yeah, you're still comfortable that they're the solution?
I'm still not sold on our half situation, to be honest. I mean, I might as well just do it quick now because my hot take today was going to be on.
Nice.
With just say this is my hot take. So I'm not sold on the halves yet, and I still think that I'm not saying that they won't start gelling. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm saying that right now I'm still not sold. I probably would still keep Metcalf at 7, but for me 6 is the spot. I think is still a bit open up for grabs. But that's just my opinion. But people would probably think Tanner Boyd would come in there, but my hot take for tonight is why don't you try Tuapiki at 6? The reason why I say that, I think he's done it before and he's done a pretty good job in the past. I don't know if it was first grade, but I think it was more like reserve grade or another grade. But if Dallin was not injured and Roger wasn't injured, and we all know that Chance is not going to lose a spot because it's just that's the way it is at the moment at the Warriors, you wouldn't put Tuapiki into centres, so why not give him a go in the halves? He's a dynamic runner. He's actually got a good boot on him. He's actually got a good kicking boot on him. He's got the he's got a playmaker's ability. So why not give him a go in the halves if things are failing, if things aren't working? So that was my hot take. It's a really quick one. Normally my hot takes go on for a little bit longer, and I go into more depth about what I'm thinking. I'm just saying, Tuapiki, my boy, why not give him a go at 5'8"?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it, but I think my problem with their whole statement is that as far as the halves are going, I think that Harris Tavita is the one who's actually seems to be performing better. I feel like he's had sort of he's been one of the best on the park for the last 3 weeks, I reckon. So and Metcalf, we still haven't quite seen the best of him. So I might maybe, as far as the halves go, I'd maybe rather see someone else get a go at halfback or Metcalf a bit. But I'm more than happy to give them another 2 or 3 weeks, and just because they're working on the combination, and if we're winning games, then we'll take that as a win. So I did also think that it was a good time after it was last week. Your hot take was that Chance had to be moved from fullback. Was that last week?
Oh, it was
maybe.
My hot take last week was that Tuapiki needs to be
just need
a spot in the side. I don't know where, but he needs to have a spot in the side because he's just too good, and his form shows his form and talent is showing, and would be very unfair on him to miss out just because, you know, you've got loyalty towards someone else. And and that was my hot take last week. But I was just thinking, why not give him a go in the house if, you know, if things aren't going as to plan? That was just my hot take. It's just a quick hot take there.
Yeah, I just thought that was good. Obviously, Charles was listening because he put out one of his better performances for the Wires in the last few years, I reckon. He was amazing. We've got a few stats down here. 7 tackle breaks, 2 try assists, 340 running meters, led to the running meters. And he just looked hungry and quite deep in the game, you know, that last sort of 10, 15 minutes, he just looked hungry. Yeah. Every time he got the ball, he was hitting it up. Fearless. So it's just, good to sit for him to remind us what he's capable of. And it is going to be interesting, I imagine Rog won't be out for too many weeks, but hamstrings can be niggly, you know, so he could be out for a few weeks. So we definitely got another, you imagine 6 to 8 weeks of Tuapiki on the wing, and then we'll see what happens from there. Well, speaking of chance, look, we'll go into Dally Eames because he features in mine, so for those who don't know, the Wally Eames as we call them, so we've got our own little Dally Eames alternative, but only focusing on Wales games, where we give our 3-2-1 points for the game. I'll pick us off. Chance gets my 3 this week. Yeah, sort of mentioned him before some of the stats, but I thought he was, best game we've seen from him in a very, very long time. Number 2, we haven't really talked about him, but he had an absolute barnstormer, and I've already seen people compare him to the next Clinton Torpy, Big Ali Lautoa. 2 tries, just puts his body on the line, close, and he's really awesome. Cemented that centre spot. So I think he's still got a bit to work on defensively, but that can be taught. But he's a big body. He just runs the ball so hard, puts his head down. He's got 3 or 4 tries to the season now, so take that. And my boy Harris Tabita gets my 1 point. So he scored that try. 19 tackles. Obviously he had a try assist to himself, so it's always nice to see that. And I feel like he's taking a lot of the kicking as well, and more of the kicking than I was expected. Obviously there's still a bit of work to be done on that game plan, but I don't think that's anything on him. It's just that's what the game plan is. We'll see how it plays out for the next few weeks. What do you got for us, John?
I'm very similar. I've got 3 points to Chance. I think, despite the fact that I think Tuapiki is a better fullback in general. You're right. He had an amazing game, and you know the stats don't prove it wrong. You know he just, like you said, he looked hungry. He looked fit out there, and not only that, but just setting out some tries as well. I just thought he looked great. He looked great. If he can keep that up, it's only going to be great for us. And he got the maximum Dally M points as well.
Did he? I didn't see that.
I think so. I don't 6 points.
I don't really watch the Dally M's. They're raw. The Wally M's are all that matter in my life. So
yeah, no, correct. But so that's I got my 3 points for Ali Leotoa, the centre. Amazing game. He just continues to grow, doesn't he? He's continuing to grow and mature, and he's so young as well that he's just looking that he's cementing their spot as his. It's really awesome. And it's good because, like I said, we've got a few centres there, so there's nothing wrong with them all fighting out for their spots because it just makes it better for the whole team. So I think he's got his hand on one jersey there, and if he continues to play like that, he'll continue to keep it. So 2 points for him. I found it hard to give not give 2 points to Jackson Ford, but I thought because I just thought he had an amazing game. For me, he stood out. Amongst the forwards. So 1 for Jackson Ford. As I mentioned earlier, don't have to repeat what I was saying about him earlier. He was just amazing on the day, and one of the best games I've seen him play in a while. So 1 point for Jackson Ford.
Yeah, great to see. I think he came on about the 20th minute or something, Jackson Ford, and just he seemed to and he was on for the rest of the game. So he played 60 odd minutes straight. And just we've had our questions about him in the middle, but if he can bring that intensity. I don't know, mate. Whether you notice as well? Did he just seem like he was a little bit bigger this week? I don't know. Maybe he's just beefing up and he's really embracing the fact that he's playing in the middle there. But I just felt like he looked a little bit more solid and
maybe threw on some shoulder pads. I don't know. I mean,
pregnant
I
belly or
don't know.
something.
I mean, I was just more focused on the fact that he was actually getting the ball and actually breaking the line, and so I was just like, oh, far out. Here I am roasting, no, not roasting him. I wasn't roasting him, but I was just saying that I don't think he deserves a spot on the side, and then turns that around. I mean, I should probably do that more often with the team. Give some
Yeah,
players some crap because they seem to prove me wrong the next game, which is what we want. I mean, that's why I say I don't have an issue with it. Don't have an issue with being proven wrong.
Well, we've both been pretty critical of Nuakura as well, and I feel like last 2 games he's really stepped up, and I think particularly in that Manly game he was great, but I thought he had another really good game against the Roosters. He sort of had a bit of injury cloud sort of early on, but seemed to push through and put up some really good numbers. So good to see him. The other player I had on my sort of worth a mention was Luka Halasima. Man, he's built for this team and this grade A. Like what he can bring off the bench. I've just loved what I've seen from the last 3 weeks. So it obviously looks like one of those bench spots is his. And the way he's playing, they'd be silly to sort of to drop him at the moment. So we've had our sort of comments about the makeup of the bench, but the last 2 games it's sort of, I don't know, it's starting to make a little bit more sense. You're still calling for Sam Healy to get in there, John?
Yeah, I rate Sam Healy a lot, but it's going all good so far. And at the moment, well, from the last game anyway, I thought it was good. And I think what made it better was that the rotation of the bench was a bit better as well. So I think maybe Webster's been listening to not just us, but many fans out there, because it's not just us calling for better rotation of the bench, because it's just a bit obvious. It's just obvious. Just like I'm talking about with the up and unders and the last tackle kicks. I think most fans will tell you this is really bad. This is really bad. So, I guess I don't think we'll see much change in the side except for who replaces Roger.
Yeah. So obviously we've got who are playing? Tigers this week, eh? Yeah. So there's that question there. Was that?
They're on a bit of a winning run as well, which is unusual for the Tigers.
They are, yeah. So I'll put you on the spot here a little bit. I just had I was just jotting down some notes before, and I just wanted to know who you've got top 3, if you can think off the top of your head, of your NRL power rankings. So obviously in the ladder, the Storm are on top. The Bulldogs, Tigers are up there, but who would you have as your top or your top 3 in your power rankings?
Storm 1 for sure. I'll still have the Broncos up there. Don't know if they're 2 or 3, but you said just top 3, so I'll just keep them at 2. And honestly, despite the fact that the Bulldogs are up there and so are the Tigers, etc., I still would have Penrith ahead of them, even though they lost. I still have the Panthers there.
Yeah, that Storm Panthers game was brilliant. Losing Cleary, it was 7 minutes in or something, and the fact that they were able to, I think Gus Gold put it well. He said the Penrith didn't lose the game; they just didn't have enough time. But the way the game was playing out, they had all the momentum, and it was a mighty effort from Penrith.
And exactly, and that's the thing. People may say, "Oh, but they lost," but they're still a formidable side, even without Cleary. Cleary obviously gives them a big, massive boost when he's on the field, and the chances of them winning go a lot higher. But they're still a formidable side. And another side you have their full strength team on taking on that Panthers side, and they'll still struggle. So for me, that's why, despite the fact they lost, they played the Storm, who are awesome at the moment. I think they'll win it, the competition. To be honest, well, I hope Warriors win it, but I'm thinking Storm at the moment. But
it's probably
So
I don't know if you saw it after that game. They sort of had a close up of Craig Bellamy, and he 5 minutes after the game, and he was still just sitting in the box shaking his head. So. He didn't. Even though they won, he didn't feel like it, and I think Cleary would have been a lot happier of the coaches after that. Yeah, I'd Storm number 1 for me. I got the Sharks in there. I just thought the Sharks were very good against the Rabbitohs, and I don't know, I think they can score more points than any team in the comp, but they still let a few in that first half in particular against the Rabbitohs, they just were. It was one of the best halves I've seen from a team in a long time.
That try,
very impressive.
Full length of the field try was amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I still am not sold on the Sharks, but they are playing some good footy at the moment. So we'll see. We'll see.
There you go. John saying the Sharks playing good footy. It doesn't happen every day, so remember
we'll
that
cut
one.
that out. We'll cut that out in the edit, so that's right.
But I'll put the Tigers in the top 3. I think just as far as the power rankings go, what from expectations, obviously like you got Penrith, you got the Broncos, you got Bulldogs and all that sort of thing. Even the Warriors, I mean they should be on top. But I'll shout out to the Tigers. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game this weekend. 8:15 on a Sunday though. I'm once again the NRL dogs, the Warriors fans, making us stay up till 10:15 on a Sunday night watching the Warriors,
Yes.
but I'm sure they all will be up, making the most of it. So I mean, so you reckon no more changes apart from that obviously injury to Sheik, whatever happens there?
I don't see them changing a winning team, despite the fact that I just don't think it's still, wow. But I still think they're going to stick with what they've got at the moment, and obviously they have to swap Roger out. So it just depends on who you think is going to go in there. Is it Morgan Harper? Is it Pompey? Is it Kossi? Will they give Kossi another chance to redeem himself, just like they did with the team after Vegas? So just who knows? Just watch the space, I guess.
Yeah. And who's the player you're circling to for this week? That if the Warriors to go on to win this game against the Red Hot Tigers, who are you sort of calling on to have a huge game?
First person that came to my head was Wade Egan. He's been playing well anyway, so it's nothing to do with he needs to step up. It's to do with he needs to continue what he's doing at the moment. Because when he does, it makes it a lot easier for our halves to attack. You saw our tries and stuff. He had big hands in it. You know what I mean? So I think for Wade Egan to if he does what he does best, we're a good shot of continuing on the momentum of scoring points and getting us over the line. So yeah, Wade Egan.
Love to see it. I'm gonna go with Metcalf myself. I feel like he's due. Like he's been solid without being spectacular. And I'm still not sold. I don't think many people would say that this half pairing is what the half pairing that's going to take us to the grand final this year. But I mean we've seen what he's capable of. I just want to see some more tactical kicking as well. Also, just on that game, you talked a lot about the game plan from last week and what we thought a bit wrong. Do you have any hints for Andrew Webster if he's listening, and what you'd more like to see?
Well, first of all, I'm going to call him Andrew Webster, and not like Scott Sattler, who on his rugby league show, called him Andrew Wanker. I don't know how you go from Webster to Wanker. I don't know how you get that. But if you don't know, go to our Facebook page on Couch Coaches. It was on the Matty John show where Scott Sattler's got a rugby league show going on with a journalist called Andrew Webster. Funnily enough.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he goes to say, "Oh look, coming up we've got Andrew Wanker." He was supposed to say Andrew Webster, Warriors coach Andrew Webster, and he calls him Andrew Wanker. And I was just like, "What the heck?" It was funny, but it's just like I don't know how you get that wrong. How do you get that wrong?
All a marketing ploy to get some views, a few clicks on TikTok.
Oh, so is that what we're gonna do now? Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what we're gonna do?
A few slips of the tongue.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would just maybe to look at, and our last tackle plays, that would be the big thing for me. I mean, we can still improve on many other areas. I think our defense is pretty good at the moment. Our attack can be good when it's a bit more fluent and the halves aren't just taking the ball and trying to run every ball themselves. Sometimes I feel like Metcalf and Harris David are trying to run the ball themselves every play. But they need to just, pass the ball on a bit and see what happens. And when they do, look what happens. That first try that Leotoa scored, that was amazing. That was an awesome try. So they need to do that. But anyway, to answer your question, what's next on the drawing board for Andrew Webster is maybe sort out the last tackle plays, because that strategy, that game plan isn't working. That tactic is not working. And it's obvious for anybody to see. If we can see it, surely he can see it. And if he continues to stick with it, then it's stupid. You can't go on and hope to make the top 8 and win the premiership, hoping on the opposition will make a mistake at their end under the high ball, or going on that will keep them down, pinned in their own 30, within their own 30 meters of their side, and that we get the ball just over halfway and we can make a platform, because eventually you're going to have to kick again if you don't score. So if they're going to continue doing that, I would like to see more grabbers through, and do that sort of stuff. But so again, answering your question, if I was Andrew Webster, I would be thinking about our last tackle play tactics, because they are not working at the moment when it comes to kicking. They're not working, and it's just simple as that. They're not working.
Yeah. Maybe just bashing it up in the centres is the way to go. If what we've seen from Ali Latoa is if we get close enough to the line. But yeah, I'm with you. Like we need to be forcing more dropouts, and with that sort of game plan we have, we don't seem to be kind of do it. I mean, in their Vegas game, I think it took a Dylan Walker kick that first game took a Dylan Walker kick to force the first drop out of the, and I feel like it's only been a handful of them for the season. So it'd be nice to just see a bit more direction there.
Yeah, exactly. And did you see also, for example, like on those, if it wasn't an up and under bomb, they were on the last plays they were running it and they were getting easily tackled. So it was just a handover. There was no attempt to put a grabber in. It was just like, I'm going to try and get through. And the halves were doing it as well. So again, if I'm going to go back to your question, is that that's what I think Andrew Webster needs to look at, is the last tackle plays, because they're not some of them are not working. Yes, we're getting some tries for some things, but the amount of time and position that we have down in their heart and in the opposition's 20, we should be putting on more points or getting the ball back from a restart. So from a dropout, sorry. And so they just need to work on that. And yeah, if they haven't sort of identified that as being an issue, then I don't know what's going on in the Warriors camp.
Just having a look through now, yes, there's only 2 forced dropouts on the weekend, and one of them was from Kurt Capewell. So
yeah, exactly, and that's by chance. That's by chance, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So just a little bit. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think a little bit more direction. And yeah, I mean this Tigers team, they do look like a better Tigers team than we've been used to the last few weeks. And they're tough as well. They're down to the Dolphins at the weekend, and they've got it in them to score some late points. I think they scored 3 tries in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, probably 15 minutes. Yeah, so we have to just make sure we don't switch off. We've seen a lot in the last 2 years, the Warriors sort of get in a good position and then switch off a bit. So it's been a long time since we've seen that elusive kind of 80-minute performance from the Warriors. So it'd be nice to see. I mean, that Manly game was close to it, but we were a bit late at the front. But yeah, it'd be good to see. That's what I mean. So it'd be good to see like a really good complete performance there.
Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you, mate. Just you talk about the 80-minute performance. It's like they've got it in them to do it. Like for example, that game last season. I know it's last season, but that game that we played against the Storm and they won in the last minute when the Xavier Coates scoring that try in the corner. Devastating. I know I don't want to bring that up. I don't want to bring some anxiety back to Warriors fans, but they have got the game in them. They've got it in them to do it. They've got the play, and the majority of the players are there. They've got the players to do that. It's just that they haven't been able to put it on for 80 minutes, like you said. So that's why I was just adding on to that, because they've actually got the ability to do it. They just need consistency. They just need to be consistent in their plays and try something different, because sticking to old tactics and old plays from like last season didn't work for them then. Why do you think it's going to work for you now? So yeah, just wanted to add on to that. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, with you there, bro. With you there. I was talking before about sort of power rankings and great teams. And with the Warriors playing the way they are, I think it's one of the best Warriors teams we've seen of all time, maybe even one of the best NRL teams we've seen of all time. So I wanted to ask Chat GPT who the greatest NRL team of all time was. So they threw up a few options, and we've got sort of I won't get too much into the details of the teams they've thrown out, but I'll tell you the verdict. But yeah, they've got the teams that they've sort of thrown out are the Storm from 2006 to 2021. So 5 premierships. Obviously, 2 of them were stripped, but 11 grand final appearances in that. That's incredible, even if they were cheating. 8 minor premierships. Obviously, some key players there. The Roosters, so 3 premierships, 2013, 2018, 2019. 4 grand final appearances and 4 minor premierships, and once again some brilliant players there. The Broncos from 98 to 2006, 3 premierships, 98 to 2000, 2006. Grand finals, 3 appearances, minor premiers 2. And then honourable mentions obviously to the Panthers, who give them a few years and they will very much. I mean, I think they probably got 4 straight. Yeah, so Chat GPT is telling me they've only got 3 straight. They got 4 straight, so they I think they deserve more than honourable mention. And the Canterbury Bulldogs as well, 98 to 2004. Obviously, that 2004 premiership and a few grand finals in there as well. The final verdict was the Melbourne Storm is arguably the greatest team of the NRL era due to their longevity, dominance, and success over multiple generations. However, the Panthers dynasty could soon challenge that title if they continue their dominance. Would you agree with that? Would you still give it a Storm, or do you think Panthers have done enough to?
It's. I mean, I can see why they would think that, but a 4-peat that was done fairly. that was done fairly, not stripped of your title because you've gone over the salary cap, is something that's going to be hard to beat. I would honestly say Panthers, and it's a bit of a. Between for me it's between maybe the Storm and the Broncos. The Broncos, the era where they had Alfie Langer, the Walters brothers, Glenn Lazarus, all those guys. They were an amazing team. Hard to beat back in the Winfield Cup days. Sort of thing. Simply the best. Kenny Turner, Jimmy Barnes getting it out there. That was a good era. So
I mean. To see that,
but yeah,
the Storm, 11 grand final appearances can't be right. I have to look that one up. I'm sure Chat GPT doesn't lie, but I thought that just was interesting to see what the punters would consider would be the greatest, and maybe next week we'll do the greatest Warriors team of all time and debate why it's a 2002 team.
No, I already think the 2002 team.
Yeah, we have to be a. Honourable mention 2011, 2023, but the minor premiership. Which ironically was stolen from the Bulldogs should have won it that year, but they had their own salary cap issues. Is there anything else you want to add on the Tigers game, or should we wrap into some tips?
No, let's get into tips. I just think the Tigers game. They're 2 from 2 as well, aren't they? And 1 loss, right? Is that the same?
Yeah.
Are they under the same? Yep. Yeah, I mean, it may look good on the table, but they played the Eels, and the game that they played against the Eels was a rubbish game. You have to admit that if you're a league fan, you just have to be honest with yourself that was just a poor game of footy, and the game against the Titans wasn't the greatest either. So I mean, good for them. They got the points. They just like us. You take the wins. You take the 2 points.
Dolphins win. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Dolphins. That's for So, but you take the 2 points, and then but yeah. I still think that we should get it over them. I still believe we should get it over them, but I guess we'll see on Sunday night at 8:15.
Yeah. Another late night. So Friday night we've got the Rabbitohs with the Panthers. Rabbitohs obviously coming off that disappointing loss to the Sharks, and the Panthers also coming off a loss, but not such a disappointing loss for them, I think. So can the Rabbitohs pull one out of their hat here?
Yeah. Panthers.
Yeah, I'll go with you there. Roosters Titans on Friday night. Could be an interesting game actually. Titans absolutely smoked the Knights. And looks like, I mean, that backline, there's so much. It's one of the more exciting backlines. I think they just sort of lack the all round package. But I do like that Titans team. So who you got on that bang?
It's a hard one. I'm picking the Roosters to bounce back, but just on that, you made a point, in the comments and where Titans have accommodated, Jaden Preston to be Campbell. Sorry, Jaden Campbell, Preston Campbell, Jaden Campbell to be in the in the halves, right? Is it correct? Or was he in?
No. So
He's playing fullback.
yeah, no. So he's playing the half. So they've accommodated Keno Kinney, so he's
That's
playing
right.
fullback.
Yes. Who's
So
amazing? Who is amazing as well?
Yeah. So they're basically like Brimson and Campbell have both had a go at fullback, and Kinney's came because of injuries last year, and they've been like, well, we need to keep him around, so they've moved both Brimson and Cam to the halves. So I think I just said to you, like I said in that post, is an example of what the Warriors might need to do with Tuapiki.
Yes, I agree. That's a good point. See, a team noticing that this guy's got talent. Kenny's got talent, and he's amazing.
Incredible.
He's amazing, and they've noticed that, so they've put him there. They're not saying, okay, we need to be loyal. There's not saying any of that. So it's just anyway. I don't want to talk about this during the tips, but yeah, just wanted to point that out because that was a good point you made. I like that point you made. Yeah.
Well, I just thought, especially for you, it would be relevant to know how passionate you are about Tuapiki finding the spot once everyone's fit. I'll go Titans in that game. Yeah, I liked what I saw from them against the Knights, and the Knights were horrendous, but the Titans put them back. Dolphins Broncos up next. The big rivalry. Can the Dolphins without Wayne Bennett in the helm? Because I think they won at least one of the games with the Broncos, maybe even both the games with the Broncos last year. They've got a bit of a record against the Broncos from memory.
I'm giving it to the Broncos. I'm giving it to the Broncos. Payne Haas looks pretty good at the moment.
He was captain of my Supercoach team last week. He got me about 150 points for those Supercoach players out there. Maybe not quite that many, but he did all right. He did very well. Yeah, I'm with you there as well. I think the Dolphins, just without Wayne Bennett there, they just don't. They look pretty weak. Like they should have won their game against the Tigers. They got themselves in a good spot and just absolutely crumbled. So that the Broncos team could have a bit of a field day here, I reckon.
Yeah, it just shows you what a great coach can do. Like, for example, Wayne Bennett, the influence of a great coach. Like you mentioned before, how have the Storm done all this? And from a team that only just came into the NRL in 1998, but it's because of the coaching they've had, and he's an amazing coach. I mean, I don't know if I agree with his style completely about how just smash anything in his way, but obviously he gets the best out of his players, so he knows what he's doing. So yeah, it just shows you the influence of a good coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think we'll see it with Dolphins. I think they will slide away this year.
Yeah.
Dragons and Storm up next. Hard to give Dragons much of a chance here, eh?
Yeah, Storm. Exactly.
Yeah, same here, I think. I think Hughes is out for a few weeks, but Washington will come in and they'll hardly even notice.
Exactly. Look who you can bring in. Look who you can bring in just like that. It's amazing. It's just
ridiculous, man. The depth they've got. So him and Fly logo, if Pappenhausen's out.
Yeah, exactly.
Cowboys Raiders up next. Cowboys were a little bit better, but still not great against the Broncos. And the Raiders got absolutely smoked by the Seagulls yesterday. But I think my Raiders will bounce back, so I'm happy to back them.
Yeah, well, I'm backing your Big Red to do the Viking clap when he's Simbined. Did you see that?
No,
he was Simbined, and like they put how they got they showed the camera. The cameras will show them in the dressing room just wandering around waiting, and he just stood in the camera, started doing the Viking claps.
I missed that.
He's a character.
I missed that game.
Crybaby character.
Yeah, he's playing some good footy this year.
He is.
Seems like he's rejuvenated. Yeah. Big Red and the boys. Sharks Doggies up next. But it should be a really good game. Dogs are 3-3, Sharks 2-1, but looking very good. At Shark Park though. I think from what I saw the other day, Sharks against Rabbitohs, I think I saw enough from them that they'll hold on and take this one, but it could be a close one, I reckon.
I'm with you on that one. I think it'll be a close game, and maybe kicking will be the decider, conversions. But
it was shocker in the Eels game, wasn't it? There was like 5 tries and 1 conversion or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Eels, they're heading to 3 Pines Stadium, 3 Pines Park, whatever it's called, to take on the Seagulls on the early game on Sunday. The Eels they got a little bit closer last week. Do you reckon they might be able to sneak one against the Seagulls and put on 46 points against the Raiders yesterday? Whatever it was.
I turned on the TV to watch the start of that game, and the first try that the Bulldogs scored, they just it was such a weak defense. They just ran through. I think it was often Gowie that missed a tackle. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but he just ran through with ease. It was just like, this is ridiculous. They're such a coach killer. Like, can you imagine how Jason Riles is feeling right now, because his team are playing like amateurs. The missed tackles they're making and stuff. So I don't give them any chance at all. I think Manly have been talking about how they're really good at home, but they need to be better away, and things like that. But I think because it's going to be at their house, it's going to be at home. I think they'll blitz them. They'll blitz them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there as well. Eels are unbattable at the moment. And once again, final game of 8:15 Sunday night at I don't know what stadium it's at, but we've got the Tigers hosting the mighty Vodafone. They're not called the Vodafone Warriors anymore, but Warriors 13 plus, 20 plus, 30 plus, is it, John?
Well, I'm gonna say 1 to 12, because that means that they're gonna prove me wrong, and then they're gonna do a 13 pluser. So I'll say 1 to 12 just for that reason, because every time I get critical, they prove me wrong. And look, again, for the 10th millionth time, I'm happy for that to happen. If we're keeping our winning ways and it's working, who's gonna complain? I'm not. But
Yeah,
I think we'll have it over them, even at their home ground. I think we'll have it over them.
I think you're right. I think 1 to 12 is probably the bet, because we just don't. Yeah, from what we saw the other day, they're probably not a 13 plus team at the moment against many teams.
They need to change a few things.
They showed that they're tough enough. So yeah, I bet them to do that.
Yeah, I think so. Mate, before we finish up, mate, what's your thoughts on the Warangi Kupu, incident? When it was finally his name suppression got overlapped, and then it was made for the public to see that he was the one in trouble. That he was the one that was apparently getting into the old cocaine, and
to the there's a bit of snow.
Yeah, and
what's time in his house?
I was surprised. I mean, I like Rodney Cooper. I actually like him as a commentator, and when he goes on, the crowd goes wild. I think he does some really good skits there, and so I was really surprised by that. And don't know what he's doing right now, but doesn't look too good, does it?
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen NRL players do a lot worse and sort of be able to revive their careers. So I hope that he's able to, as an end of his sort of media career, because I think he is quite good. He's likes a good laugh and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, as I said on the post, like, once an NRL player, always an NRL player. There's a lot worse. There's a lot worse things you can be doing than that. So I'm comfortable if he's able to sort of get back in the media game, as long as he's keeping his hands to himself.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be very hard for me. I mean, being realistic, we both work in comms and media, and it won't be easy. I mean, I'm all for giving people second chances. I really am. This is the kind of person I am. But it's just it'd be hard for him to do that. Just being realistic, but
yeah. I mean, as I said, but I think there's a lot worse you can do.
It's such a shame. It's just a shame.
There's a lot worse you can do.
So well.
Yeah. I think he'll be all right. I think he'll push through.
Yeah.
It's not the most offensive thing.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask you about that, because there's just some Warriors news there. But yeah.
Sweet. That's probably it for this week. As always, up go the Mighty Wars. If you're not already, make sure you give us a like or a subscribe, and whatever you're watching us on, come find us on the socials, on Facebook and Instagram. John's got some big plans for some TikToks, so keep an eye out for that. The YouTube channel's going good. We've had a few milestones recently, so if you're listening on there, flick us a comment. We'd love to read them. Otherwise, John, any last final departing words?
No, just reiterate. Thanks for the support, guys, and yeah, continue it. Continue to give us the comments and the feedback that we've been getting. So it's been amazing. So just echoing what we just said, give us a like and a comment, and yeah, we'll keep going until we can stop. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm just rambling. Yeah.
Until next week, up the Mighty Warriors. Let's go on. Yoo-hoo!
Let me try it. We've got the faith. I can't do it like you.
Yes, boy.